So today what we're going to be talking about is abortion. So I'm going to pull up receipts of some of the policies and laws that are currently being implemented. The thing is, first of all, I'm going to start by saying I'm pro-choice, and that means I support the woman's right to choose what she does with her body, because who else should get to make that decision? Nobody. Absolutely nobody, especially not men. White, old, angry, rich men who have no idea what it's like to give birth and have absolutely no reason to be trying to force someone to have a baby. So you guys know that pregnancy is a two-person thing, right? A guy is involved. The girl doesn't do it alone. If a woman has to be forced to keep her baby, then there has to be some equivalent for a man. Like, maybe he should be forced to stick around, not abandon her. Maybe men should just get vasectomies, which are temporary and can be undone. Wait, that's a violation of their human rights? Okay, another thing is that we are so close to violating the constitutional rights to an abortion, but there's still absolutely nothing against guns. The amendment to add rape and incest exceptions failed 11-22 in Alabama. Alabama will make abortions a felony in all cases from the moment of conception, punishable by up to 99 years of prison. There's no punishment for the men doing the impregnating, except presumably the obligation. Felons can't vote. Getting an abortion will be considered a felony. So, someone try to tell me that this isn't an infringement upon the 19th Amendment. Voter suppression. The states that are currently acting to ban abortions are also the states that coincidentally don't allow felonies to vote. So this tweet says, well, there's two. One is that abortions after 6 weeks will now be illegal in Georgia as Governor Kemp signs the heartbeat bill. And a tweet responding to that says, we can legally pull the plug on people who are brain dead even when they have heartbeats because they are legally dead. Without a brain, you have no cognitive function or awareness of anything. But a heartbeat is what equals life, apparently. So go ahead and further oppress women. The thing is, this town where I live is super Catholic, and that's okay, whatever. It's just a religion, but they are 170,000% against abortions, and I've been here like 12 years, and there's always, like the pro-life march, there's like sign-ups to go to that with a group of people. They have signs everywhere. There's always like posters, and just everyone has a general consensus that babies should be put before the women. It's one thing to have a belief or opinion, and it's another thing to completely blatantly tell someone else that theirs is wrong. Like, what makes you think that you are so high up that you have so much power, or that you're 100% correct, and that you have any right to tell someone else that what they think and feel is any less significant or true than your own. This isn't just like a liberal view for me. Obviously, I'm liberal, but that's beyond the point. Like, I am a supporter of human rights and equality, and I think it's absolutely absurd that women's bodies right now are being more regulated than guns and firearms. Like, if babies who haven't lived, haven't experienced anything, have no memories or feelings or thoughts, literally nothing but a heartbeat, are more important than school shooting victims, terrorist victims, the people who get shot up in churches all the time, or black people who are shot just because they're black. I can go on and on and on with the list of victims of gun violence in America, because there's nothing to be done to stop it. So we keep having these problems, which is totally cool because everybody wants that, right? No, you don't like me saying that, do you? Exactly. All lives matter, first and foremost. All lives matter. So if you're gonna defend one group of people, freaking babies, then you need to defend all of them. Women need protected from this kind of thing, because sometimes mental illness or poverty or physical illness, health, dangers of pregnancy, like alone, like there's so much that contributes to why people need abortions. Maybe you don't want to choose that. Maybe you don't want that path, but that's your want. Some people need it. Not everyone is you. Not everyone is like you. Consider the really, really, really young girls who are raped, sexually abused, or assaulted at an age like 9, 10, 11, 12, when they haven't even hit puberty yet, and they get pregnant by obviously someone they didn't choose, or even a family member, and you expect them to be able to take care of, provide, and support a baby. Their bodies literally can't handle the pregnancy, but you're not giving them the right to grow up before they have a child. They're still babies themselves. You can't expect someone, a little girl who's still growing and learning and changing and has an entire life, an entire future ahead of her, school, literally, like physically growing up, to be able to pay for a baby, house a baby, get the family support that she would need to have that baby. It's just like, it makes no sense. It's so illogical and unfair. Like, she's a child who doesn't deserve to have to be forced to push a baby who would be like a third of her size out of her body before she's even like gotten her period, before she's gotten to figure out who she is, understand herself and her own life first. Why would you expect that from somebody? She needs to have the ability to put herself first and then have her own child when she's ready for it. You can't, that's not something that anyone deserves to be forced upon them. It would be so unfair to both of them. Okay, here's a post. It says, "This is going to be really morbid, but it needs to be said. I really hope all the people who voted against abortion realize what they've done. Just wait for the influx of smothered babies. Get ready for dumpster and trash bag babies. Get ready for wire hangers and bicycle spokes to skyrocket on the market. Watch the women of your community fall dead because of unsafe abortion methods. Watch your sisters, cousins, aunts fall dead because you voted their bodies' rights away. Watch them and wonder what you could have done to stop this." Banning abortions isn't actually going to make them stop. It's going to make them a lot more dangerous, a lot more unsafe for women to do, but they're still going to keep doing them because it's always been a thing, and you're literally just helping kill people. That's what America does best. So, Ohio has this cute little thing. This is a direct quote. It says, "Birth control pills, IUDs, and other methods of birth control like that The bill states that any birth control that could act to stop a fertilized egg from implanting in the uterus is considered an abortion under this bill. First of all, birth control isn't just to prevent pregnancies. A lot of my friends use it for so many different things. And it's inhuman to take that away from a girl. Especially because, again, men are the ones making these decisions. The ones who don't have to deal with the consequences, the ones who don't have to suffer, the ones who don't have uteruses. So, second of all, I have another post, and it's pretty shady, so you're welcome. So let me see if I got this right. I'm not allowed to get an abortion because I didn't realize I was pregnant till 6 weeks. I'm not allowed to get my tubes tied to prevent any more pregnancies because, once again, it has to be someone else's rules what I do with my body. Cut funding to Planned Parenthood, so now I can no longer get the cheap birth control to prevent a pregnancy because not all insurance covers birth control. Cut funding to CHIP, WIC, and food assistance, making it harder for single mothers to take care of the child they were forced to have. I think I've got it. Government can't tell you what guns you can own because that's violating your rights as an American citizen, but it's totally okay for them to tell me what I can and can't do with my own body because my rights aren't being violated or because my rights as a woman just aren't as important. Rape and incest aren't the only causes of abortions, not the only things that make women feel the need to take that action, you know? There's so many other factors, and like the fact that pro-lifers don't even consider them or don't have an open enough mind to like step back and think about it and think maybe I should just mind my own business because it's not my body, it's not my life, not my decisions. Let people do what they want. So tiring. I've been fighting this battle for years. It's never died down. It's always like at school they don't let you write papers about that anymore because it's so freaking controversial. And in my town, 99.6% of the people are pro-lifers, and they don't want my percentage to be brutally attacked. 2 more posts. So one says black women are over twice as likely as white women to have a pregnancy and a miscarriage or stillbirth. Georgia just effectively made abortion illegal and wants to punish women who miscarry like it's their fault with charges of second-degree murder. And the next one says they're not actually, I agree with this one, I think it's kind of funny though, so I'll get roasted. They're not actually pro-life, we all know that. When a black pregnant mom is shot by cops, they aren't bothered. When brown babies are ripped from their mothers and lost completely unaccounted for or die in custody, they don't care. They're not pro-life, they're pro-control. I am definitely expecting backlash for whenever I post this, but I don't care because I am not quiet. I am never going to be, especially when it's about something that I believe in, because if everybody around me is allowed to shove Jesus down my throat and tell me how important fetuses are, then I'm allowed to tell them how important every other aspect of birth is and the dangers that women can face and the consequences, the repercussions. Like, what if the mom dies during childbirth, because that's really common, and then the baby who you were so worried about doesn't even have a mom at that point because she died, because she couldn't make the choice that would benefit both of them. At this point, it's just more important now than ever for me to speak up and stand up for what I feel so strongly is right. Like, no one else around me is gonna do it, and maybe if you're watching this, you think, what the hell am I gonna do? I'm just 18-year-old, one person in a tiny town. Nobody has any idea who I am. That's the point. One voice can be louder than the other 10,000 that are around me. It's like a war against female rights right now, and the people who are quiet about it. Political apathy in this scenario is just as dangerous as what I'm doing, if not worse, because what I'm doing can at least make a difference, and what I'm doing matters because maybe I'm speaking for so many voices that are too scared to do it. I'm at a loss. Like, it's so shocking and painful and scary for me, the fact that, like, these bills are being passed. Like, birth control is being banned in the state that I live in. Miscarriages are punishable as murder. Like, so I genuinely don't understand why it's so important for people to just outright get rid of abortion altogether. Like, if it doesn't affect you, what's the freaking problem? Look away, mind your own business. If it bothers you so much, don't do it. That's it. Problem solved. Instead, so many lives are being put in jeopardy. I can't talk, I'm so flustered, I'm overwhelmed. Like, I can't process any of this. Like, these politicians don't belong anywhere near hospitals or the exam room, like, in all specifics. Like, they want to jail the doctors for helping women too. Like, tell me that's not absurd. Oh, wait, you can't. It's just a baby. It's not someone who has a life to live. It's not someone who has already lived. It's not. It's a little thing that can be mass produced in a couple seconds. And if someone can't afford in any aspect to take care of that child, whether it's for themselves or for the baby's sake, then that should be their decision to make. That's why it's pro-choice. I'm not saying that everybody should get an abortion, and I'm not saying that I want to. No one needs to know, like, what I want. That's the thing. Not your business. Every day something new arises with abortion bans all around America, and it needs to stop. And whatever that takes, I'm gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna keep sharing these posts and retweeting everything. I'm gonna keep screenshotting. I'm gonna keep writing to the representatives and calling senators and congressmen. Women's rights, humans' rights are being taken away in a country that's supposed to be land of the free, all men created equal. This topic isn't just feminism. It's just basic human thought, feeling, ideas, notions. It's the fact that people are really trying to defend the government while it takes away basic rights to one's own body, and people turning a blind eye to it or ignoring it or even like actually supporting it. I have no words. You can't convince me that what you believe in is correct or okay or right at all. And I'm no Jesus fan, but for those of you constantly preaching about him, if he loves everybody and if he plans all of this, then why does he let so many women go through so much shit during childbirth and so much pain? Why would he want a baby to be born in poverty or have no mom or have no home or not be able to eat or wear clean clothes, or he wants the baby, like the baby's gonna get this perfect life because it's still living and it deserves to have a chance, right? But the mom needs to be able to make that decision for herself, because pretty sure she would know what's best for her own body. Obviously, you can support whatever side of the big abortion debate that you want, but it doesn't, just because you think a certain way doesn't mean that the opposite choice is wrong or immoral. It doesn't mean that you get to close your mind. It doesn't mean that you don't get to accept someone else's decisions. It doesn't mean that so many people should have to be oppressed because, again, men who have no idea half the things women go through decide they want abortion to be illegal. Like, it's baffling, but that's kind of the whole point of, like, America. We're supposed to be able to have different opinions and still live in harmony, just agreeing to disagree, you know? Like, I get it if you are so humanitarian that you hate, you know, the thought of killing a baby. Well, then don't kill it. You can have the baby, but in some circumstances, someone doesn't really have a choice. And, like, again, it's not going to stop abortions from happening. It's just going to make the death toll of females all over the country skyrocket, because it's dangerous to do it, like, without a doctor, not professionally, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to try. I am 100% okay with talking about things with people. I'm 100% okay to listening to other perspectives and point of views and opinions and reasonings for things, but I strongly believe that, that what America is doing right now to women's rights is dehumanizing, and it's laughable and embarrassing. I know people always say that, like, you should be grateful your mom didn't choose abortion because then you wouldn't be here, or, like, your friends wouldn't be here because their moms had chosen it or whatever. But what if your mom needed to because she was unhealthy, or because she had no home, or she didn't have enough money, or she couldn't physically give birth to you, and then when you were born, she died? Like, yeah, you can use that as an example to get people to understand where you're coming from with your thoughts. But we can also do that too, because if you're gonna play the blame game, your mom died because of you. If she died during that birth because she wasn't able to make the best decision at the time for what her body needed, there's not that much hope for my side right now, because everything is just spiraling downhill, out of control, very, very quickly. But it doesn't change anything. I'm not going to stop being pro-choice, because it is a woman's decision, and regardless of what the law says, it's not going to stop us. And it's kind of ridiculous that, like, 50 years ago, we were having the same problem, and then Roe v. Wade happened, and we were supposed to have actual constitutional rights to our bodies. But, you know, people in America care more about guns than... So you can go around preaching save the babies, and I will keep preaching save humanity, because, you know, if babies are forced to be born and moms are forced to die, it's not really going to help anything at all. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. It's very nice to get this stuff out in the open, and I'm gonna go look through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook and turn on post notifications for all things abortion related so I can keep my eye open for the dangers of society and white dudes.